Welcome everyone to another video, and today we're going to take a look at the initial team that I've been using in the Spring Cup. It got me 100 yellow during the first day of this new rotation, and it features the Pokemon Ferrothorn with the moveset of Bullet Seed, Power Whip and Flash Cannon to deal with those water types as well as grass types. And you also have the Dewgong as our safe swap in general, with Ice Shot, Icy Wind and Drill Run, as well as Tentacruel at the back as our closer with an all poison moveset of Poison Jab, Acid Spray and Sludge Wave. So the idea is for Dewgong to bring out the hard counters for Tentacruel so that Tentacruel can sweep in the end game. So going on to the first game, we're going to look at the hard counter of this team, which is Galarian Weezing with double Mud Boys in the back. So as you can see here, they will farm up to overheat with our safe swap of Dewgong, which means that we will be already at a shield deficit going up against their Quagsire. And here is most probably where my mistake is for this game, because I think if I had shielded twice before they are able to, if I would shield here before they got to the second, for their second Stone Edge, I will most probably be able to nerf it down a lot or enough so that I can survive that Stone Edge. But here, as it is, we were already down a shield and we were already down Mon with a bad matchup. And here was also and just now was also the second mistake that we had done, is that we threw Flash Cannon immediately against the Galarian Weezing, knowing full well that most probably they will shield it, because the recommended moveset for Ferrothorn is Flash Cannon and it will be weak to it because it is a fairy type. But here we decided to just let this Gastrodon hit us with another move, and here we also got baited in the process, which means that right now it is very bad for us. They're able to get to an overheat to take us out. So two mistakes there against the hard counter of this team, and here we are going to a second game. Hopefully we are able to win these other games, and unlike that first one. So here they safe swap into a Venusaur, so it will be a much easier time for us against this. We will be using both shields for Dewgong. Generally speaking, we want to invest our shields in Dewgong to flip the matchup, because Tentacruel will have a hard time against ground types such as Gastrodon and Quagsire like the previous game. Therefore, we want to make sure that we win the matchup and reveal that third Pokemon that they might have, especially when our lead matchup was really bad, because we know that our Tentacruel will be able to handle the Galarian Weezing very easily, because the only thing that can hit us for neutral will be Brutal Swing. So yeah, overheat will be resisted, sludge will be resisted, therefore we will be able to handle it quite well. And here I don't know why we went for Acid Spray. If we had gone for Sludge Wave immediately, we would have been a-okay, because then we have come up with a lot of health for the Lapras, and here they decided to snipe us with the Lapras, and we will go down against them. But because Ferrothorn is part steel, we don't have to care as much about the damage from Psywave, because it will resist it, and we will be taking neutral damage from Ice Beam. And here we are almost at a double up through Power Whip to take down this low health Galarian Weezing to take the game. And just for your information, Ferrothorn, I highly recommend getting one with a decent attack stat. So meaning if you have a very good PvP IV with maybe 2 or 3 IVs for the attack stat, it is not recommended, and it is for that lead matchup that you see just now in the form of Jellicent. Because if you were to look up any the stats for Jellicent and Ferrothorn, the attack stat is very much IV dependent, so meaning whoever who has the higher attack stat will win the CMP tie. So for this first initial few games, I used my Ferrothorn with the higher PvP IV stats, which means that I will not be able to flip this Jellicent matchup like how I wanted to. And later on in the later sets, I used Ferrothorn with higher attack IVs, which means that in that end game situation, like you see later on with Jellicent versus our Ferrothorn, we will be able to win the CMP. And here we decided to farm down the Tropius because their Air Slash and Leaf Blitz will not do much against us, and we will debuff this Jellicent, hopefully chucking them down to a point where we will be able to handle them better later on. And here, because we're already at a shield deficit, they will be able to go straight Shadow Ball without any reason, and because our attack stat is lower than theirs, they will be able to CMP us on the third Shadow Ball right here, in which means that we will be losing this game, but it could have been winnable if not for that low attack stat on our Ferrothorn. So going on to the next battle, we will go against the Shadow Ferrothorn. I'm still unsure how we will play this out, but because it is an elite matchup, it is a grass and steel type Pokemon, we will just stay in this matchup, see what's in the back. But in hindsight, after seeing this match, I did realize that maybe I should have, chunk it down here and then immediately swap into the Dewgong, for the simple reason being that with Ferrothorn being double weak to fire, they will most probably have a hard, they will have a very hard Tentacruel answer in the back, such as a Mud Boy for that reason. And here we made a mistake of not shielding our. We made a very bad decision to not double shield our Tentacruel there, which means that Tentacruel was going down very hard against their Alolan Ninetales in an otherwise very positive matchup. And here, because of that, our Gastrodon, or already low Gastrodon, has to match up with, sorry, not the low Gastrodon, our low Ferrothorn has to be matched up with this full health Gastrodon with energy, and because of that we will be taking this loss, especially with the Ferrothorn of theirs with energy at the back. And in the last battle, we will go up against Golisopod. Golisopod being a Pokemon that we will have the best time with Ferrothorn in the lead. And here we decided to tank the first. We decided to swap to Galarian Weezing, which we will counter swap into the Tentacruel. But here, also you have to watch out in this instance of what they say swap into, because I have seen these teams with Golisopod in the lead with a double Fairy Steel types in the back, with Klefki being the safe swap, and in that case you want to go to Dewgong to nerf that damage and to hit them with super effective damage in the form of Drill Run, because because Klefki is the bulkier of the steel fire types. But in this instance, because we have our but in this case, because we only have one steel and fairy type in the back, we will be able to finish them off with this Dewgong instead, and our Ferrothorn is not going to do anything at all. So that is all for this video. What do you think about the Spring Cup? Is it something that you will be playing for this next week, or are you just going to stick with Ultra League instead? So with that, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.